Right. So, Tom here with Joe Parva, a new guide for NRJ, and also Sam. And Sam's a bit of a tech whiz as well. So, Joe very kindly sent me some audio over, mainly to ask me whether it was usable in the context of NRJ. And what I've done is I've put them into an Audacity project. And we're going to open that up in a minute. And I'm just going to show you very quickly how you can take audio, previously recorded audio, and just get it to a point where it'll work absolutely fine in the NRJ platform. We're not after studio quality here. We're after good audio. We're after professionally produced audio, but it's very easy to take. Audio is very malleable, very flexible, and there's so many things you can do with it to make it more acceptable, and also so that when someone listens to it, they don't hear a low track and then a high track and that sort of stuff. They got a reasonable listening experience. So I'm just going to open up a project in Audacity. You can do this in, oh, I know, it's already open. Let me just get that project. So the project is open. And let me just share this screen with you. So here's the screen coming up. Here we are, right. So a couple of things to watch. So what I've done is I've imported them all into one project, mainly for this recording, so I can show you how we can approach different things. You'll see that you can, on the left here, you can mute a track or unmute it. This little sample, incidentally, was one that I took from this moving landscape introduction. I uploaded it to 11 Labs this morning, and I took a poem of Joe, and it got the sample to read the poem out. It's called Pop. And I think it actually, out of all the voices I've cloned, Joe, and don't take this the wrong way, yours is very clonable. You seem to, the 11 Labs seem to suit you. And I thought that out of all the ones I've done quite a few guides over the last few weeks and months, yours was particularly good. So I think if you want to clone, which is a very good way of getting back cataloging without having to record it, I think 11 Labs is a good tool for that. So we're going to ignore that one. But I'm just going to go down to this one here. You'll see that you can see that the levels are all over the place without me even playing them, right? So one of the first things we want to do with our audio is get it to a reasonable level. And if you highlight the whole track, and you can do that by dragging across, or you can just click on the left-hand bar, you go up to Effect, and you might not be able to see this, and go to Amplify, and it tells you how much you can amplify the audio by, right? So I'm just going to amplify it by 3.3 dBs. And that's more like the level that we're after. But you can see that that's a little bit down in level compared with some of these peaks here. So the other thing I always do is to take the whole waveform and go to compressor. And the compressor sort of evens out. You'll see it'll reduce some of the high volumes. And then you go back to amplify again. And then we'll amplify it by, I don't know, 2 dBs or so. And that's, without even playing that, that's reasonable. I'll just say that that is a little bit low there compared with the other waveform. So I'll just go in and give that about 1.5 dBs of amplitude. And now you can see that the amplitude is pretty much the same all the way across, right? So that's without me even listening to it. I can just see that that will sound really good. And we're aiming for that level. So we're not in the noise. You see this waveform here is very low. We're going to do the same thing on that waveform there. This is the beach cycle. But I know now, and I can see there's a few clicks here. So if I just go in, you can go in and just take them out by muting them. And there's a few clicks at the end and what have you. You can mute those as well. There's another video I've got in the resource section that shows you in more detail how to do this micro editing, but just with my engineer's hat on, I can tell that would sound right from a level perspective. And I'm going to do the other waveforms in a similar way. So you can see that this one, which is beach cycle, which I'm going to unmute, you can see that's very, very low. Now I'm going to listen to that because sometimes that might be low because you're using a microphone on a device. So let me have a listen to it.
The shadows lengthen until I am.
Oh no, that's okay. I can tell it's okay. So that's going to need a lot of amplification. So the amplification says you can put 10 dBs on that. I'm going to give it about 7 dBs. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to compress it. That takes some of the peaks. I'm going to amplify it again because we can. and I'm going to do a 3 dB amplification. So that's kind of getting there, but I can see in the waveform, I'm just going to expand the waveform. It wasn't so much on this one, but you can see there's some noise there. Can you see that, Joe and Sam?
Yep.
Yeah, and if I play that, I can hear it on my speaker here. So you take a sample of the waveform, go into effect and noise reduction, and you get the profile of the noise, then select the whole track, and then again you go into noise reduction, and then you'll find it's all gone. How about that? Like, it's like audio magic. Yeah. So obviously when you've got a low volume track like that, when you amplify it by about 8 dBs, you're also amplifying the noise floor at the same time as you are the voice. So this is what I said to you before we started here. Audio is incredibly malleable when it comes to playing with it. So that's an example of the first track was just get the level sorted out, do a bit of compression. The next one, get the levels have to go up a long way. They can probably go up a little bit more, actually, to be honest with you. I can put a little bit more amplification in there, maybe 2 dBs or so. And I could probably just also do another level of compression as well. And just out of interest, you can see here, I can see that little waveform there's a breath. And you can decide, do you want to leave your breaths in or not?
Blue.
And it's natural to have breath. We all got to breathe, otherwise we wouldn't be here.
Pink, then blue. Striped as shadow.
Yeah, so I don't mind if breaths are in or not, that's fine. But you can I tend to get them out of mine as I do, but I can see that now pretty much if I just top and tail that'd be ready for upload. So let's now do, is there any questions so far, Sam or Joe, just on
I think it's probably worth also, like, if you are going to record yourself, maybe give yourself a few seconds at the start before you start speaking.
Yeah.
Silence, because then that's an easy way to get the noise profile. I'm also not really sure because I haven't been using the amplification function, but I was using the normalize function.
That works, yeah, that's fine.
Kind of more or less does the same thing as amplifying it.
Yeah, absolutely. In different programs, I'm using Audacity. Actually, Audacity's got 2 different compressors. It's got a legacy compressor and a new compressor. I prefer the new compressor. Normalize does the same job as well, and different audio programs will have different features as well. So you can already see then, and that's a very good idea. Give yourself a bit of what it's called room. Is it what it's called? Room space or room noise or something like that at the start, because you can use that for picking up the noise floor. We can see that the next waveform is going to be a bit more troublesome, and the one after that is going to be troublesome as well, because we're going to just play that one.
Anyway, thank you all very much for coming. This was a bit of a last minute course.
Right, so this was a live recording, wasn't it, Joe?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I could say you got a lapel mic. As you move your head around, then the lapel mic will pick up more or less audio. Also, I heard a little rustle then, so it's picking up your clothes noise and stuff like that. But that's absolutely all fine. And if you're in a live environment and this is good material, then absolutely it's fine to have this thing. And what you can do just in the introduction to and I've done this on a few of my journeys. I said, this is something I recorded back in 2011 or something like that. And I did it in front of a duck pond and that kind of thing. And you just introduce the context of it. Then no one's surprised if there's a click or a bang or a dog bark or someone coughs in the room or something like that. But I can see here there's a little bit of introduction. I'm not even going to listen to it. I can just tell that's not when you start the recording. So we can delete that. I'm going to do Command X, which is cut, do a cut. And then we do the same thing here. We just want to compress that, or as you say, we can normalize it. Maybe let's try loudness normalization. Let's see what happens when we do that. Oh, probably a bit steep. I've not used it, so I need to get to know the number. I'd maybe restrict that to 10 dBs, perhaps.
I think I wasn't using the loudness normalization. There was another function just called normalize. I don't really know what the difference is, but
okay, normal. Oh yeah, there is. Yes, well done. Yeah, normalize.
And then
yeah, that does a similar thing. Yeah, that does a similar thing. So we can do that. That would be a good way of doing it. And let's just see the difference between doing it that way and doing it with a compressor. So we did put a compressor in. Yeah, I think what the compressor's done, it just brought the peaks down a bit more.
Yeah.
I'll probably stick to my compressor route. But not either works really. But here we just got a little listen to some of it.
Thank you, like this. Anyway, thank you all very much for coming. It's this was a bit.
So you don't need this bit here.
No, possibly not. We could be running out.
You were just responding to someone in the room,
Anyway,
and you don't need that word anyway. So I'm just going to take that out. And
thank you all very much for coming. It's this was a bit of a last minute course because Becky.
and we can do the same thing there by taking that noise floor because it was a live environment. Get the noise profile, and then reapply the noise profile. You can see it's taken all of that stuff out. So what I did that just by doing a Command Z, I think, but I'll just do it the proper way. Noise reduction. I've taken the sample, and now you can see it's taken that noise out.
Thanks for coming. It's this was a bit of a.
Not to cancel at the front.
Becky was able to come, and I really wanted to run.
So that's absolutely fine. We could use that. Let's have a look at the next one, which is, I think, a longer track.
It's the same.
Yeah.
A live class.
Yeah. So this one here, I don't think I listened to it before. I don't think you actually start. There's a lot of chat beforehand. I think you start about here. Yeah.
Okay, I'll interrupt.
Right. This is a bit different. You can probably remember how you did that. So we've got to do the same things with these, Joe.
Okay, I'll interrupt you now. You will get opportunity to talk to each other. Well, I'd like to welcome you all here today. Thank you all very much for coming with your enthusiasm, if not with your.
So I don't know how much you can hear that at your end, Joe and Sam, but we do the same things with this one. We do some compression. You can do normalization if you want to. Definitely do some noise reduction as well. That just takes all the. That's quite long. It's a long track. I'm going to just go there, get some a noise sample, and reduce that one. And I'm going to do the noise again. Noise reduction. And when did you record this, Joe?
Pardon?
When did you record?
15 years ago.
Okay, right. So interesting. I'm still using audio from 20 years ago. And in fact, I used my wife's voice from 20 years ago to narrate a story, which I never ever recorded in 2026. So it's fine to use sounds from the past. I can tell here that we want to go in and edit that because that's probably, I don't know what's happening in the classroom at that point. But what I did notice,
What you're going to be learning.
that it's quite thin. It's quite a thin voice, and there that's not down to your voice. It's down to the microphone you were using at the time. So there's a couple of things we can do there. We can either go in and bass and treble, and we can increase the bass maybe by 2 dBs and reduce the treble. I'll just do that and hear what it sounds like.
Each other. Well, I'd like to welcome you all here today.
Yeah, and already you can't hear that at your end, but I can hear it here. I can tell already that's improved it greatly. Other things you can do, wouldn't do them both. Instead of bass and treble, you can also go into something like a filter curve, and you can do things like that, and to take the treble down and what have you, and you can take the bass up. And this is a bit more sophisticated and needs a little bit more finesse. But there's loads of ways of just taking a thin voice and then making it a bit fatter, effectively, in its sound. And the other thing I want to mention about this one is over an hour long, right? So this is an hour 15 long. By the time we trim out these little bits here, it might come down to the hour or so. And we've always had this idea on New Reality Journeys that a journey might be at a minimum of 3 tracks. But when you're doing something like this, where I'm guessing, Joe, bearing in mind I haven't listened to it, you took people in a live class from point A to point B. A long track in itself can be a journey. right? So you can do a one-track journey. There might also be sections in it where you had a coffee break or you had a break or between exercises, and then you could split it into 2, 3, or 4 tracks and say, here's part 1 of the class, here's part 2 of the class part. So the choice is yours. We're not a place where we impose any rules or what have you. So any questions so far? Is that as clear as mud?
From me, my end, it's him who has to sort it
Okay.
out. Don't worry about it.
I think everything makes sense
Yeah.
to me.
Okay, and also, if you listen to this and you do need someone to help you, I think Sam, you do offer your services out, don't you, as well? So this is a little plug for a wonderful Sam here to help you do that sort of stuff. So I'm going to stop the recording just now, and pretty much, as I said, the main thing to know is that you can sometimes get depressed about your audio. No need to be. It's a very, very malleable format, and there's loads of tools out there. There's another video in this section, putting these in the resources section of the Getting Started, where lovely Mel Ross recorded a fantastic book about her dogs, and she did it on a MacBook Air. And you know that I'll go back to where are we? This Beach Cycle one of yours, right? Her audio was down there. It was that low. So sorry, I'm not. I've stopped the share now. I'll just do that again. Sorry, I do apologise. So,
Yes, it's really low.
yeah. So this is where Beach Cycle was. Mel's audio was right down there in the noise floor, and I recorded a little video called Resuscitating Audio that goes along with this one. So your ones were in the middle. So you sometimes think, especially with the excitement of a platform like this, where you want to get your legacy stuff out there, how much work you've got to do if you've got to re-record it. Well, I must have 5 books that I never recorded, mainly because another book came along, but also because my books had diagrams in them. And of course, audiobook formats, especially on Audible and that sort of stuff, you can't put diagrams in. On this platform, you can say, and download the diagram here. So the only thing I would do, I'd probably go into, and for those books, I'm going to clone it, right, using 11 Labs. But what I'll do is I'll do an introduction in my voice to say, oh, by the way, certain chapters you'll find a download. And I wouldn't have said that in the original book, because when you write in a book, you don't say click here to download or whatever. So I just explain that there's a few downloads, and if you see a paperclip associated with a track, there's a download there and what have you. So really what we're doing is creating this amazing platform where we're very flexible about what comes in, as long as everything's a reasonable level. And all you're trying to avoid there really is somebody that's listening to you having to move their volume up and down all the time. So I could put some technical specs on you, so it must be -3 dB RMS and stuff like that, but this doesn't matter to me. You go into the waveform, get it somewhere in the middle, and you won't be far off. Make sure it's not clipping, and make sure it's not down in the boondocks. That's not a technical term. So thanks for offering your audio up as guinea pigs, Joe. Much appreciated. I know other people will really learn a lot from seeing how to do this.